Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is OrD, that's ORD, or ORD underscore SC2, or ORD.SC2, or OrD StarCraft on all these fantastic sites you see in front of you. This is Monday, May 7th. It's Good as Gold, number 25. Welcome to the game. Game number 2, you can see, is Muffin Topper. Took game number 1 off of his Terran opponent, Dark Raven NTK. Dark Raven NTK starting this game in pink in the lower right-hand corner. Very Stefano-esque out of Terran. Is interesting to see, perhaps his kind of homage. Not sure. We will, however, find out if he manages to build roaches as a Terran player. In the upper left-hand corner, we have our Protoss player, Muffin Topper, who came back quite efficiently after being crushed in Game 1 of the semifinals, rolling for Game number 2 and then Game number 3, and in fact doing a fantastic job in the previous game of just continuing with some pretty early aggression. Muffin Topper, all I know is I'm gonna flip your tables, and he clearly has a lot of time on his hands, or he's really practiced at typing that. That is actually a shout out to Magwini X Bear. That's what I call her, Megamix Bear. Oh god, I've said her name incorrectly for so long that I'm not sure how to say it properly. So it's Megamix Bear. Right, I'm butchering it, but the point is she's going to be holding new tournaments coming up, and I've actually given her a little PM. Hopefully, I'll be able to help cast some of her lower level games. She's hosting a Gold Plat and a Bronze Silver tournament on top of course, the Diamond Master and the Grand Master tournaments. And she just released a bunch of information and kind of did a whole rebranding of herself, which was really cool to see, as she's an instrumental individual to the StarCraft community. Friends with Day 9 and all that. So now we see Dark Raven with a refinery done before his Rax is done. So that's a little early again. Not quite as early as it was first game, as we see the epic battle of probes and SCVs. Our Protoss player laying down his cybernetics core shortly after a gateway and not in fact producing any units. No, he's skipping the Zealot, going to go straight with the Stalker, and he's not even chronoing out of his Nexus, so he very well may be preparing for that 3-gate aggression. Our Terran player wisely leaving a scout available to himself, as when he walked in, all he got to see was a gateway. But did see a gas, actually, and so now he wants to walk back in pretty soon and see that there's a cybernetics core down, and that there's a second gateway on the way as well. We see a second Rax coming out of Dark Raven, and we see that we see that we see. Gotta stop saying we see. So sorry. My beautiful girl PJ Schneider is going to be on me about that later. Sadly, only on Skype, so that did not have as much innuendo as I wanted it to. Now we have a factory coming down out of Dark Raven NTK in the pink, and our Protoss opponent built his first Stalker, followed by a second Stalker, and he apparently knew, or perhaps suspected, that there was a scout in this SCV. Tries desperately to run away, but cannot. Have a forward pylon down, Muffin Topper does, and he's right on top of his chrono on that warp gate, and he's bringing out some more Stalkers. He has this beginning down pat. We've seen this out of him time and time again. He moves forward, gets some vision with his Stalker, and then moves forward to his opponent's base to double check that there was not an early expansion laid down outside, and the second Stalker follows suit, and then a third Stalker follows, and then a third gateway. Actually, a little bit behind this game he is. He could probably sneak in another 2 Stalkers if he wanted to, but I think he's waiting to have the warp gate done, which he will have in just a moment. And there's that last chrono going down a little bit late, and we do see an earlier expansion of our Protoss Muffin Topper. And now we have 2, 4, 6 Marines against 2, 3 Stalkers. Stalkers could probably trade very efficiently out of that. We have a supply block for our Terran player, and a second a tech lab that's going to be down for him shortly. Command center coming down, and a starport as well, and we still don't see Another supply depot, although he's on supply block now. The Stalkers are able to move all the way up to the top and get some vision, snipe off a few of the Marines, and now they're going for a supply depot. The SCVs are pulled preemptively, which is a fantastic decision. Need them to be in front of the Marines, need to pull these Marines back. And interestingly enough, Muffin Topper is going to get away with expanding behind this pressure again, and he's building a really cheekily forward pylon. We have Combat Shield being researched by Dark Raven NTK. We have the starport almost completed. Perhaps a few too many SCVs pulled. Fantastic out of Muffin Topper to continue with baiting the aggression, stepping in, taking a few pot shots, not allowing these SCVs to return to mining, and thereby just crushing when it comes to economy, even though our Terran player does have mules on the field. And now we're just watching some pretty micro as these SCVs fail to get a surround. They're not as fast as Speed Zerglin, so it's a little bit harder. The Marines are doing a lot of DPS, but they're just not going to be able to kill enough of the Stalkers. We do have a bunker down, which is nice to see out of our Terran player, who lifts off his orbital and flies down perhaps to his main, lifts off his other command center. Looks like he doesn't want to give this one up easily, but when it's 45 supply to 11 to 12, amusingly lands his other command center at his natural, sets the rally point, and has his SCV start mining. This dropship is ready to repair these Marines, ready to heal these Marines when they come down. This forward pylon says, "Hey, flying orbital, how you doing?" Now a pretty good choice for this orbital to be blocking the expansion. Now we have a Nexus coming down as Muffin Topper works on his third, and Dark Raven NTK has to GG, again paying for the greedy early build against Protoss. Have I beat that horse enough? It works sometimes, but it is a gamble. Muffin Topper with some very nice aggression while expanding, and some pretty decent micro as well. And as you see, according to this chart, our winner is, once I make this huge, it will be amazing. We're going to configure it for you as well. Wait for it. Wait for it. 2-0! Let's get rid of that as well. No, get rid of the background. Yes! And our victor of Good as Gold, number 25, is the Protoss player, Muffin Topper. Congratulations, sir, as you defeated Dark Raven NTK in an effective 2-0. This has been OrD, that is O-R-D, casting Good as Gold for you on Monday, May 7th. Shout out to Zeke.com for sponsoring this tournament and many, many more like it. If you enjoy StarCraft in any form, go over there. You can watch it. You can play in tournaments. You can get involved in things like I'm doing and run your own tournament. I just said, hey, I'd like to do this. And they're already being awesome and talking to me about potentially featuring the tournament on the main streams. So if you think that's a good idea, then please go over to my stream thread on Team Liquid. It's teamliquid.net, and just search for ORD, or you can tune into me right now because the stream is still live. And I'm going to go ahead and give one last shout out to the beta testing that we are doing this week at Good as Gold. We will on Sunday be hosting a tournament at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 12 p.m. for me here in Arizona. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when that tournament begins, and we will be inviting the first and second place players from Monday through Thursday this week to come out and play. If we have good participation in that double elimination tournament, if we have good viewership, we will actually be able to provide real life prizes. We will not really be sponsored, but in a way we will be as well, and that is really cool for a BSG tournament. So I'm pleading you, if you're watching this, or if you know other people who like to watch this or related material, let them know. Retweet me when I shout out about it. Again, that's ORD_SC2, and that could be a lot of fun. You all are awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday.